It is day one of San Diego Comic-Con, and this morning I rolled off the couch in our Airbnb, churned out a couple of interviews, threw in a few hours of stories, and then peeled myself off the bar table here to trek all the way to the illustrious Hall H, fully anticipating that Paramount's panel would cover Terminator: Dark Fate alone. More on that later. And you know what? That would have been okay. I'm a huge fan of those original movies, but not so much of anything that came after that. And yes, that includes the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I know they're huge fans of that, and that's totally cool, but that ain't me. I was worried that this sixth film would be more of the same from what we saw in Terminator Salvation and Terminator Genesis than it would be Terminator 2. Fresh off the panel, I was able to retreat to a press room with LRM Online lead interviewer Gig Patta to talk about our impressions of the panel. Here's what we had to say. So we just got back from the Paramount panel, which we thought was actually just going to be just Terminator, but we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk Terminator first of all. As you heard, we had some expectations going into it, and I want to talk a little about whether or not those were met. You saw some of this footage already.
I did.
Yeah. At CinemaCon. I did not see it. This is the first time me seeing the footage, and I have to say, I was kind of blown away. I actually started to tear up when the theme song started to go. And for first time in a long time, usually these movies, for the past few movies, it's just been kind of action, action, action. But for this one, they actually spent a good amount of time in the trailers giving us little glimpses into the lives of these guys so that we kind of saw where they were coming from, saw whether or not we should care for them and why. Like, I liked this version of Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. I liked what we saw of Linda Hamilton. I liked what we saw of Mackenzie Davis and Natalia Reyes and all that. I thought it was really good. They give us just enough to care. And the Terminator sequences were fucking terrifying. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like a non-stop chase. You really felt like I did watching the first one, where nothing is going to stop this guy. He's just going to keep going, keep barreling towards you. And I haven't felt that way in a Terminator movie in a good while. So between the extended sequence we saw on the highway, which I thought was beautifully choreographed, and just the overall set pieces to the very end of that trailer where you had that beautiful shot. There was a beautiful shot of Arnold Schwarzenegger literally putting a gun to the guy's head and shooting him, like machine gunning him in the face, and it rips apart his face, and all you see is like the Terminator part of it. It was made to be iconic, and I am surprisingly excited for this, despite my constant reservations since we've seen so many of these movies before. And everything they said on the panel, of course, it's all self-aggrandizing. Like, what else am I going to expect? Absolutely. But still, I think the footage really reflected that, and it just got me in the zone to watch more Terminator. What about you? You're more of a harsh judge than I am.
You know what? I am actually going to be a little bit harsher than you on this one, and that's because the clips that I saw. First of all, I saw the highway clip, a huge part of the highway clip at CinemaCon, so I wasn't overly too impressed, but it kind of piqued my interest. Now I've seen a lot more, and the feeling that I'm getting is T2.
Yeah.
Okay? Because where you say it seems to be more original, I'm saying it seems like it's almost I've seen it before. Right. Okay? I've seen remember in T2 you have the pizza truck being chased by a big rig. Right. And in this case, it's another truck being chased by some kind of bulldozer truck. Mm-hmm. At high speeds. You're saying, oh, he gets shot in the face. I think I remember that being shot in the face with a shotgun in T2. There's a helicopter scene being chased. I think I saw that before. So it's one of those things where it seems like it's a repetitive. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because if the formula works,
I mean, yeah, if it is able to capture what those two were able to capture, because 3, 4, 5 were not able to capture that. If it's able to capture that and still be repetitive but still be an amazing movie, I'm cool with that. You know, as audiences, everyone wants original ideas. No, they don't. They want more of the same except slightly different, slightly better. Yeah. Or, different enough to where it's unique.
I mean, one of the biggest iconic scenes that from the original Terminator, the first scene that I thought blew me away was when the Terminator went into a police station and start basically killing police officers left and right. I mean, you're talking about they're armed, they're trained, and all this kind of stuff. And in this trailer, I noticed the Terminator goes into, it looks like I want to say ice facility,
Right?
Okay, or some kind of jail facility, and he goes in and basically slaughtering them left and right. So it's one of those things where it's almost like you've seen it before, but I think they're picking out all the stuff that actually works and trying to put it together. So it's either going to be, how can you say, a really good movie, or it could actually backfire. But you may, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just brought up, I forgot about this about myself, where the first Terminator for me was so terrifying because once they got to the police station, you thought, oh, she's safe.
Yeah.
And then she was not safe at all. So you're right, it brings that same aspect back, the same horror aspect that I like. It is bigger. I am worried about the scale being too big, but, we'll give it a chance. Yeah, I'm excited.
Now, one of the questions as our pre-reactions was, I was questioning on whether Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be in cameo roles. Now, the clips that they actually show kind of alleviated that.
Yeah.
I'm actually satisfied that they're not going to be cameo roles. They're going to play major parts in this film.
Mm-hmm. Integral roles to the party. You have Linda Hamilton, she's going to be along for the ride with Mackenzie Davis and company, protecting Natalia Reyes because she's exactly who she was 30 years ago, however many years ago that was. And then they're going to get assisted by this old Terminator, which I was a little surprised. She was like starting to shoot him right away. I'm like, you work with the Terminator in Terminator 2. I was a little confused because she's very much like, don't touch me. Like, she doesn't want to be touched by the Terminator for obvious reasons. But when we last saw, she still wants to kill him. But when we last saw him, they were, I wouldn't say buddy, but she understood that there are good and bad Terminators. But she does have the mission of killing all Terminators in this one. So it may be a situation where, the other one, I liked him, but he's dead and he needed to die in order for the world to continue on living. So that just might be a situation where she needs to continue on with her goal.
Now, but we also have to remember they're introducing a new cast here. Okay, so I have my opinions about the new cast, but let's hear about yours first.
I mean, I think Gabriel Luna, he's very stoic in this one. It's very terrifying. I was a little scared when he was running, like how he kept running at, like his mission was to kill this girl, and even when he was split apart and was getting shot at, he's like, oh, I have a limited time. I have to go run to this girl and kill her as quickly as possible, like both of them were. I thought that was cool. I guess not a lot of dimension. He's a robot, You can't really do much there.
You know what he reminds me of? It was the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when he plays a Ghost Rider.
Is that what he reminded you of?
Yeah, it's sort of very like composed, stoic, with not a lot of emotions.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch that version of Ghost Rider. I saw the Nicolas Cage version, but we'll not talk about that. But stoicism for sure is on there. We didn't see much of Bonetta. We didn't see much of him.
Yeah, it almost gave me a feeling he's in the cameo role.
Yeah, right. And then even Natalia Reyes, she wasn't even there that much. She was the focus, but all the stuff was happening around her. And I guess I could be worried that will be the case, that she's just almost ancillary, even though the movie is kind of about her. Which kind of reminds me of Thor: The Dark World, where somehow the whole movie was about Natalie Portman's character, and yet she was the least interesting part about it.
Which is going to be a shame, is because they do actually have a scene where it almost seems like she's going to be trained to be like the next Linda Hamilton. But however, I just want to point out that for Natalia Reyes here, she only has 2 independent films under her belt. Yeah. This is her first major film, so this is actually a big break for her.
Yeah, and it sounds like they did a really good job of nurturing her on set, so hopefully it comes across in the actual movie itself.
And then Mackenzie Davis is quite a surprise, because I've seen her in a lot of movies, and she has a very wide range of acting. I have never seen her in an action movie.
Yeah, it's like a badass. Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen her in other than this was the *Halt and Catch Fire*, the computer '80s TV show, that thing. But yeah, I'm really excited. Like I think this raised hope for me. I was excited. Do we have time to talk about the other thing? Maybe
I think we do.
We think we do? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. At the end of the panel, Conan O'Brien came out and was yelling at everyone. Conan O'Brien, he was like, "No, everyone stay here," and he started basically milking it. And I thought it was gonna be a huge joke at the end of it. Obviously, it was him, but what is he teasing? He brings out Tom fucking Cruise. Tom Cruise comes out.
When are you gonna do another one? For 34 years, you guys have been very, very patient with me, and I felt that it was my responsibility to finally really deliver for you. And I have a little piece here if you want to see it. This is our very first trailer. You are the first people in the world to see it. And everything you see in this film, obviously, it's for real. So the flying, we're working with the Navy. All of the flying that you see in this picture, everything is real. And I really wanted to give you all an experience of what it is to be inside that aircraft. And for me, Top Gun is about competition. It is about family. It is about sacrifice. It is about heroism. And it's about aviation. And I love aviation. It's a love letter to aviation. So would you all like to see it?
Yeah!
And then drops Top Gun Maverick, the first trailer for Top Gun Maverick, which I'm not really particularly attached to Top Gun, but even I, based on just the surprise of it all, was super into the trailer. It is all real, I guess not even effects, like real stunts, like real actual flying planes and stuff. They really pointed that out. And the footage itself looks solid. It looks interesting. I wasn't necessarily like super excited about it, but if you're a huge Top Gun fan, I imagine this is going to be amazing for you, and it was just unexpected.
So yeah, they actually showed he actually came out, surprised everyone. He's not scheduled to be here at Comic-Con. Showed the first trailer to the new Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
And just like you, I'm not a huge fan or anything. I like the movie, but when they actually start flying the planes and that song dun, 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 start coming up. I got goosebumps.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, and it was just exciting. I don't know if it's just the Comic-Con crowd, the room being in Hall H with Tom Cruise. I mean, it looks great.
I'm just waiting for them to bring back "Take My Breath Away." Dun, dun.
Did you notice there was a lot of flashback? Was it a lot of flashback scenes?
I did not notice that.
I think that because they had a piano and all this.
Notice.
There's a lot of flashback scenes, and I was really hoping to see what's his name, who plays Iceman.
I forget. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
because I want to see which version of Val Kilmer actually shows up. Whether because Val Kilmer has gained a lot of weight lately, but he is in the movie, so
Yeah.
I wonder if they make him slim down and not talk like Val Kilmer today and talk like a regular person like he was, back in the 80s.
Yeah, but it's super exciting. Like, I was surprised in this panel. Like, I was happy with Paramount or with Terminator, but even though I'm not a huge fan of Top Gun, I came out on a really high note. Did not expect to see Tom Cruise here. I know Nick Dahl at the site. You're super jealous. You should be. It was amazing.
And anyways, that's a wrap up of the Paramount panel here at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe I'm pretty excited for Terminator that comes out, I believe, on November 1st, and I'm not really sure when Top Gun is, but they're still filming that.
Are they still filming it?
I think they're about to wrap. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks pretty good so far. I don't know if they were going to release it online, but if you don't see it, it looks pretty good.
And that's to you, Nick Dahl. Thank you.